Minutes to the gentlelady from the Hoosier State, Ms. Erin Houchin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I echo the remarks of my colleagues and appreciation for your tremendous leadership of this committee. It's been an honor to serve under you here. Thank you, and go Hoosiers. Thank you, Dr. Swagel, for appearing before the committee today. As we mark the CBO's 50th year, it is important to remember that Congress created the CBO to provide objective, nonpartisan, and reliable fiscal analysis. That mission is essential to the work of this committee and to every member who relies on the CBO's estimates to judge the real-world impact of legislation. In recent years, CBO's work has often been inaccurate, particularly in the last 6 to 7 years, slow to meet Congress's needs, and CBO's inaccuracies can impact not only how Congress writes laws, how agencies spend money, but also the public perception of the laws that we pass. And it can result in a lack of clarity for the fiscal health of our government. So I'm certainly grateful for the opportunity to explore options to change this reality, and I appreciate the work that you've done so far. But just to highlight a couple of examples, in 2010, CBO underestimated Medicaid projections by more than 6.5 million people, an error rate of more than 130%. CBO tends to overestimate revenues, underestimate cost, miscalculate growth. Under the Inflation Reduction Act, CBO claimed it would reduce the deficit by $58.1 billion, when in reality, CBO had to go back and increase their projections by $428 billion.
That was the Joint Committee on Taxation. That was not CBO.
Okay. In 2024, CBO underestimated revenue by $72 billion, underestimated spending by $378 billion, underestimated the deficit by $306 billion. 2023, overestimated revenue by $477 billion, underestimated spending by $564 billion, underestimated the deficit by $1.041 trillion. And those are just a couple of examples. So I guess my question is, given the inaccuracies that have resulted, dramatic inaccuracies, these are not pennies that we're talking about. This is in certain cases, $1 trillion of an inaccurate estimate. Can you understand why members of Congress might be skeptical of the CBO's scoring and seek independent reporting as a counterbalance to the misinformation or the inaccurate information that tends to come from CBO?
Oh, thank you. It's a challenge. I understand the concern. It's in some sense this today is highlighting one of the challenges I face. The green tax credits was mentioned a couple times, and that by statute that work is done by the Joint Committee on Taxation. By statute, that's them. The $1 trillion you mentioned. Let me start with where CBO was off. And this is something that I've talked about with the chairman before.
In my limited time, I just have about a minute and a half left. I really just want to get to the heart of, can you understand why members might have some concerns about CBO's scoring and want to seek some independent analysis outside of that?
No, absolutely, and this is where we started. That I understand the concern, and one of the challenges I face is to pinpoint, the things like the green energy credits, where in some sense, I'm looking at the people at the back of the room, they're giving you misinformation, and so that versus the things like interest rates where we were off, and that's a real thing. So,
do you acknowledge that the CBO has had inaccuracies especially in the last? I've got more examples here if I could state them, but do you acknowledge that there have been inaccuracies?
We are all human. I'll give you one example that you mentioned. Our estimate of revenue after the 2017 Act, 2018 and 2019, our accuracy was 99.6 and 9.8%. And then in 2022, after the pandemic, we were much worse. So the answer is clearly yes.
Okay.
And the issue is why, and that's that.
And that brings me to my final point in the time that I have remaining. CBO has never undergone an independent audit in its 50-year history. Would you support an external review of your models, assumption, and forecasting to help improve the accuracy of the CBO?
Okay, of course, we have an annual financial audit looking at our,
Do you support an independent audit of the CBO?
it's something the chairman and I are talking about, that I support scrutiny and transparency, and so the details will matter.
Is that a yes to an independent audit or a no?
I've been talking to the chairman, and I support the way he is going about it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.